us. And please tell us you can hear us. All Jeppin's about. Yeah, tell us you can hear us.
Hello.
Hopefully.
Please tell us you can hear us. It's a normal, obligatory sort of sound test at the beginning of
every live stream.
Of every live stream, when we normally get it wrong.
Ah.
So tell us you can hear us. Oh my God, live, yes. Just let us know you can hear us, please.
Hey.
Please, 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 please. Hey, you guys are late. I'm sorry.
What,
By
by
a
minute.
By a minute.
Look at that, they can hear us and everything.
Yeah.
First time. That's nice, nice. So how you all doing? Lovely to see you all here. And as usual, you know how this works. We will you ask us questions, we will answer the questions, and we're going to take you through all of the agility stuff, the rooftop agility stuff as well. So we will take you around the courses and show you the new graceful outfit, and let us know what you think of that. Would be great. Blinder. Just fire us your questions. Katy Perry's talking to you, Ash.
That's nice. So Back2 has a question about Back27, that's a nice name. Has a question about Revenant Caves. We haven't made any plans since last we spoke about it on these streams. Just lately we've been focusing on the agility update and the Slayer update that's got to go into development very soon. But we haven't forgotten about the idea of it. And we still have the question of what the Revenants would drop if we gave you Revenants, and indeed what they'd look like, since we don't have the original graphics. I'm not sure that having them drop statuettes and drop Vestas and Stasis and Morrigans would be the best way to introduce those items, assuming people even wanted them. So asking for the Revenant Cave is a bit of an open-ended thing for the moment.
Cool.
What else you got?
Cool. Somebody was asking a question I completely forgot. It was quite a good question. Clan chats. Somebody mentioned something about not being able to access clan chats from RS3 through 07. Do we know if that's an issue or not?
Well, you know, clans, actual formal clans, not
Yeah.
the chat channels, what we've got. 07's never heard of them.
Yes. Okay. So whoever that was who said that, do you mean accessing proper clan chats as you got clan chats in RS3, or is it friends chats in RS3 you can't access? Be good to know that. We also got Norge asked about fish flingers. Fish flingers.
As distractions and diversions go, that's a funny one. If you wanted us to try and copy it and make a 07 version using graphics from our repository, we could certainly have a go, although I have to say it's not feeling like it's very high up the priority list.
Cool.
But like anything from the other RuneScape, we could try and cobble you one together from what graphics we've got, or we could perhaps make something new and unique for Old School that doesn't feel like a bastardized version of something you've seen before. I'd rather go that way if you didn't mind.
Somebody wants to poll energy pots to be upgraded from 10% to 20%. I mean, I assume it's completely doable, but it all depends whether you guys want it or not, really.
We could put it on the list.
I mean, I've seen that when somebody mentioned it earlier, it was followed by a lot of people saying no. So there we go, see?
Yep.
So I'm kind of feeling that's not really going to fly, I'm afraid. There we go. What else we got kicking around in there? We have somebody talk about Fairy Tale Part 3, which I'm assuming is going to be a pretty big ask, isn't it?
Well, since we don't have the graphics, once again it would be a matter of reconstructing something that tries to look a bit and feel a bit like the original quest, only using graphics that already exist in the Old School repository. Now, there's a lot of custom stuff in that quest, like the Rift and the Tooth Creatures and the great big ogre things that you have to get the teeth out of in the first place. So if we tried to make it out of existing graphics, it would look really quite pants, I think. I really don't recommend you have us cobble together quests like that for you. If there's something you wanted from the quest, like one of its rewards, or one of the areas you can get to from it, or a training feature, then we don't mind having a go at that feature in itself. But putting the entire quest together wouldn't feel right, and wouldn't look very good, and it would take a lot of time to achieve something that isn't great in the end. So I don't think that's a very good way to go.
Baker, was it Backer? Backer, yeah. Somebody asked the same thing in my stream last night. It was about getting randoms after you die.
Yes.
Can we stop that? Or?
We did in 2009, so it could probably be done again. In 2009, we'd rewritten every random event, deleted about half of them, and made all the other ones use a nice generic system so that it was easy to tie in things like that. Bit harder for us in 2007 without that rewrite, and I don't think we're going to have time to do the entire rewrite, but it'd be, yeah, we could do that feature of it.
Cool. Well, I'll put an asterisk next to that then.
Also put in something about a message in the God Wars dungeon when you can pray again at the altars, because there's currently no indicator. I was also asking about that.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'll write that down.
Thank you.
What else have we got going on there? Somebody asked about separating your RS3 and Old School accounts. The way the whole system works at the moment is all on one account, which it's going to be a pretty massive ask to get them separated. So at the moment you're going to have your one account and they're going to be linked together always. May change in the future, but I wouldn't hold your breath in all honesty. Anything else I haven't written down this yet? Messaging God Wars when praying. There we go. Anything else?
Alice Ran RS says they haven't seen the Gravedigger random event in 07 yet. Well, it does exist, it's there all right, and it's as slow as ever. We haven't taken it out. I think in 07, events are still restricted to the skill that they're associated with. It's not like in 2009 where you could get any event from any activity. So if you keep praying long enough, you might get what you're looking for.
That's cool. The Southern was asking about making spawn rates the same on each world, so I assume it means increase them to as high as they can be.
Well, if you wanted the opposite, that would be quite funny.
Yeah, I assume it's doable, it just depends whether you guys want it, really.
Well, it would be doable if we could get the engine team on it as well.
Yes,
Okay.
at the moment it's based on world population.
Engine team. Should have a little thing that scrolls across the screen every time somebody asks a question which involves the engine team.
For mining drops and trees, I think we could do it. For monsters, which is the usual thing it matters about, we can't, because that's in the engine.
Okay. There we go. Cool. Vladin was asking about making mini games alive again. The last poll of this year, which is with us in 2 weeks' time, will hopefully have some mini game stuff in it, and then that should make it better. So please do send us your ideas about mini games right now, so we can get them into that poll. That'd be cool. What else we got going on?
Yankee Fin 2 wants to know about the White Dragon and the Kraken. One for you, I think.
I haven't touched it. Again, I haven't really done anything new to it. We're going to be working on the rooftop agility update. Having to fix all the things that I broke. And then obviously we've got Slayer coming, so there's been no real developments on any PVM related content in EU bosses yet. That's something for next year.
We certainly saw from the poll recently that a lot of you are interested in PVM content, including new bosses. So we will be trying to deliver.
Cool. Voyaging RS asks, have we decided on the experience? Have we decided on the experience rates for rooftop agility? We will post them tomorrow for you, and then we'll get your feedback over the weekend and let us know what you think about that when we post that in the dev blog.
Why, with about 1 billion underscores, asked if we've made the Rainbow Party yet, which, yes, we have. Ash made it on, was it Friday last week?
Can't remember.
Oh.
In the Old School General Forum, in the sticky thread about today's update, page 13, there's a picture of the Rainbow Party hat. Sorry, it's a bit hard to find, but I happened to post one in there about an hour ago.
Could you show them on the thingy one?
Yeah, we can get
Yeah?
one up.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
We'll show you it later anyway. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we can dig that up.
It looks pretty good actually. It doesn't look anything like you think it would look like.
Yeah, I was surprised too when I made it.
Shock and someone thing or other is asking, can we ban the Orion client because it offers an advantage. Now, Matt's the guy who develops that, has deliberately delayed some of the information. Now, there's a great thread about it where he explains it all in the forums, but he's deliberately delayed some of the information coming to you so you're not getting an advantage using it with other people, which is why we're not going to ban anyone using it. As with everything else, you know, we don't recommend anyone use it. Use our own client, but we're not going to ban people for using it, I'm afraid. Sorry, but have a read of that thread, and Matt goes into some quite good detail about how it all works, so please do head to the forum and read that. Can't remember what it's called though. Probably called Orion.
I think it's actually called Ban Orion.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. There we go. What else? Anything else?
So, I saw a question got a minute to go about Clan Wars. We've blocked about Clan Wars before, back in August when we were asking which big updates you'd like us to work on. Clan Wars didn't come high enough up the priority list to get developed at that time. PvP Worlds and God Wars 1. Now we've done them, yeah, we haven't forgotten about Clan Wars. and I do believe we will be offering it next year. The thing is, the game engine in August 2007 didn't have the features that let us use chat channels as a grouping system. So that came a bit later. When we wrote the original Clan Wars in about October 2007, we were using the chat channels to group you for teams. Currently can't do that. So if we try to do Clan Wars at the moment, the challenged battles that is, we'd have to group you off something else. Personally, I'd do it off the cape you're wearing, so that you can use the team capes for that, and plenty of other unusual and rare capes, or whatever you liked really. And we'd have to give you some method for letting people in, kicking people out if you're the clan leader. Or we could wait for the game engine team to maybe be a bit more available so they can give us that engine update again and let us do Clan Wars as it used to be. The free-for-all arenas you can have now, but since we've just done PvP Worlds, it doesn't feel like a great time to add more things to take people out of the wilderness, so we haven't tried to push it through a poll just yet.
Lucifer and Motakus X keep asking what the chances of bringing back Old Bounty Hunter and EP. EP, no way. We've already discussed this when we discussed PvP Worlds. It brought far too much gold injection into the game. It was far too abusable. It's just not a system which really was reliable or worked nicely, and not one that people legitimately enjoyed. So we're not going to do anything with EP. Bounty Hunter, however, we're working on something nice for that. So keep an eye out.
Okay, spades for the barrows.
Yes.
Automatic spades, yes. I'll put an asterisk next to that as well.
That's really, really annoying when you forget that.
Yeah,
especially if you're on the quest to use Bird of Rock to actually access the bank.
It's almost as bad as forgetting your hammer at God Wars.
Thankfully, imps drop those. I think a lot of people forget this. Imps drop hammers. If you forget your hammer for bandos, go kill imps.
Cool.
That's a free advice right there.
You know. Luke V22 is asking about achievement diaries. He wants some more of them. I think we want to do some more of them. We'll probably look at that next year. So yeah, for next year, that'll be cool.
And someone was asking earlier about whether there could be a cabbage teleport from it. We probably can't get that graphic back into the game, but we can get you to the cabbage field.
Yeah, that's easy. Wow, that suddenly went quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
So Kyle Killer keeps asking about a repetitive message filter for the for game messages, like you swing your axe at the tree, you swing your axe at the tree, because he probably knew that by all this after all this time. Now in 2007 the message system was still quite hard coded into the engine, and it didn't let us make new types of chat, such as important game message as opposed to unimportant game message, which is how we did it before. So at the moment we are not going to be able to do that. However, either if we can get some time from the game engine team next year, which we hope will be more available to us, then we could maybe get that feature. Alternatively, we could just take the messages out, because I'm not sure how many people ever needed them. So instead of having your toggle where you can let yourself be spammed or not let yourself be spammed, if we just took half the messages out, it might make a difference to you. Let us know your thoughts on that.
Okay, interesting one here from BozPKZ. Mod Reach. What about your mini God Wars followers passing because some RS3 players didn't want it? But I did a test or a check on sort of who's been voting for that question in particular, and it turns out that it was the most experienced old school players that were actually had the biggest downside to that. So it's not about RS3 players coming in. But if you want to talk about your pets, go for it.
I was reading the forums around the time it was being polled to see what people were, because there was a lot of threads saying why are people voting no, so I was interested in seeing what people's views were. And a lot of people were very concerned that they'd be seeing a lot of them around the game and they'll be spamming up banks and making it very, very difficult to see anything. In my eyes, that's missing the point that they are ultra rare. So if you see one, you're having a good day. If you see more than one, you're having a very lucky day. If you see more than that, then there's probably a bug, which means they're too common. So a lot of people were also very concerned that they'd be replacing drops. So if you got one drop, you wouldn't see another drop with it. You would just see the egg, which was the pet. So for example, you might have got the egg, but that could have been a hilt. Well, they were planned to be dropped alongside other drops. So you would get your standard drop as well as this drop. So it wouldn't replace existing drops. Also, a lot of people were very concerned that they wouldn't want to see, if they did see one, it's spamming up their window with all the incessant things that it says. That's something that we can then take on as feedback and remove if it was too floody and unnecessary. But I know. I think it was what 71%, 72%, so around 71. So there's still a lot of love for them. I guess we can possibly look at them again at a later point and see if we can work around some people's concerns. Otherwise, we can revisit another way of introducing them if people didn't want to go for God Wars. We can look at them not having them say anything at all and just have some vanity follow behind you if people really want one. But no, we will have a look again in the future. It's a shame they didn't pass, but there's still a lot of love for them, so we can revisit them.
They might get in just maybe something to do with a combat pet update or something. We could probably do something along those lines.
There's a big discussion about combat pets as well.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all stuff we can look at.
Speaking of reward items, San 2013, I think it was asking about something really interesting.
Yeah,
It's lost on you now.
too.
I wish I remember what it was.
San, whatever your name is, say it again. We'll see.
Oh yes, School of Farming. Thanks, Sam. Yes, they were asking whether we could have the Scroll of Farming that you used to get from Dungeoneering. Now, there's quite a lot of features you could get from Dungeoneering that we could bring into Old School, and without the skill itself, that is. I don't have a problem with bringing them in as potential updates from other minigames. Perhaps giving more rewards to existing minigames would help bring people to them and liven them up a little bit, along with some of the other ideas we've got. So, yeah, we could certainly use that kind of thing to pad out the minigame poll that we're planning to do in a couple of weeks.
So, what else is somebody asking for? A few people mentioned this. Money pouches, lodestones and tool belts. I don't think lodestones is ever going to pass, is it really?
I can't see that.
Tool belts would be a good idea. Money pouch we would like, but there is a lot of things we would not do.
Yeah.
Writing the money pouch is a fairly large job because any piece of code that deals with coins has to be updated carefully.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'd also need to rewrite the bank pin to make it easier to plug in as a standalone unit. It currently isn't very good for that. I did it before, can't remember when, it must have been about 2010. I could probably do it again. The engine's got most of the features I used last time.
Cool. Should we have a look at some stuff? Who wants to have a look at some of the agility stuff? I don't know, I'm waiting for him to reply, so that was a 15-second delay.
I say we do.
Yes, we want to look at it. How about we show you some of the agility stuff? I think that would be quite a cool thing to do about now.
Just give it this random event for where you can do so. Yeah, turn up at the.
Hey, kebab.
We'll drink the beer and we'll eat the kebab.
I like kebabs.
Indeed.
Right, yes, we'll move to the screen then. So, Ash actually knows more about this than I do because this is the first time I've seen it along with you. So I might drive and Ash can narrate, I guess.
Okie then. So you see what we're wearing here is the Graceful kit, consisting of hood, cape, the usual body parts, gloves, and boots. All these items will, when we finish writing them, reduce your weight when you've got them equipped. Haven't finished that bit yet. They don't have any stats apart from that. The reason you're seeing stats at the moment is somebody's got an Amulet of Flurry on, I think.
Yeah, but don't worry too much about the weights things because they're not working quite properly just yet.
Yeah, we haven't finished writing that bit. So they don't have any stats, unlike, say, the hunting capes or the penance gloves, which firstly reduce your weight by a bit more than this will, and secondly, I think they do provide you with a little bit of combat protection. So this you get by collecting marks of grace, the little yellow thing that my charming assistant is examining right now. The mark of grace is a little token that you sometimes find when you're training on the rooftop agility courses. When you're going round and round the courses, just occasionally you'll run into one of those. They're spawned randomly for you and you alone, which means that you don't see other people's marks of grace and they won't see yours. So nobody's going to be sitting there camping your spawn point and just picking them up over and over again and stopping you ever getting any. If you keep going around the course, occasionally you'll find them. You might be lucky, you might not. And you pick them up. When you've got enough of them, you can go to the Rogue's Den, where you'll meet Grace herself, and she'll exchange them for the Graceful kit. It'll take you quite a lot of laps to collect the whole set, like some 100 across all the courses. We're not trying to count exactly how many laps you've done and give you a reward after you've ticked enough. This is more about looking for things as you go around. Perhaps if Dan keeps going around, he might find one. Perhaps he won't.
Let's give it another go.
So this is the Drainer course. You can do this one at level 10 agility. As you see, it consists mostly of tight ropes. We were slightly getting to grips with the mapping when I first made this, so the tight rope seemed the easiest thing at the time, and little walls you can balance on. I think we have not been lucky enough to get a Mark of Grace this time round, because we'd have seen it on the minimap by now. They do show on the minimap. We could keep going around and hoping, or we could move on to another course.
We'll move on to another course.
Thank you. Should we see the new Alcarid? I believe you've been working on that.
I can't guarantee it's working exactly as it should, but it does work an awful lot better than what it used to.
Yeah, mapping in some of these cities is quite difficult because the roofs were just not designed for people to ever stand on.
Alcarid was particularly difficult because each of the buildings has a nice little ridge on it, which means rope doesn't go over it very easily, and the height mapping around it will ruin the side parts as well. So this will be the first time I've seen this swing working properly as well, so this is the first time for us all here.
Come on, you can do it. Hey.
It's a bit better.
Getting there.
As you can see, I've removed the zip wire, and we now jump down. Is this going to be more? Yeah, it's a bit better. There you go.
Didn't disappear into the building this time.
No,
Yeah, we used to keep sticking in a building for some reason.
we are now. I've stolen one of Ash's ideas. We swing around this tree. I need to learn to click. Then we.
And sleepwalk by the look of that animation. Yeah, that's the thing with the lintels around the buildings. Makes it rather hard to map over rope.
Yes. We're down. We did not get another one. Damn. We can go to another course.
Yeah, so next on the list would be the Rock, which will require level 30 agility. It starts just out the back of the general store. CYN0 is asking about the XP rates. Tomorrow we're going to put out a dev blog with the current proposed XP rates for that, so that you've got a chance to let us know what you think before the update actually comes out. Mind the pigeon.
Still not seeing any. We're quite unlucky at this.
You have to go around a course more than once to have even a chance.
Oh, okay. This is.
There's a bit of creative mapping being done around here because the building that we just swung along wasn't quite the right height, so I slightly shrunk its middle wall.
While this is going on, a lot of people are talking about the GE at the moment. Thing to say about the GE is we aren't actually in a position to offer it. I think we need some significant engine work to make a Grand Exchange work, and we also need to find the prices of all the items as well and get all that put in, and that's not a small job at all. And then that's even if it is even going to pass the test, so pass the vote, which I don't think it will. So even though some of you might want it, I think a significant portion don't, and it's not something we're actually able to deliver. So sort of no for several reasons, that is, I'm afraid.
Dan, what's your agility level at the moment?
699.
You have an extremely low chance of getting a Mark of Grace if you're going around courses that are not designed for your level. So if you go like, well, 35 or something, that will increase your chance for your next run round.
Yeah, so the lower your agility level, or the higher your agility level compared to the agility course you're doing, the less chance you have of getting a mark.
So if you're level 90 and you ought to be on the Ardoin course, then we don't really want you to have the best chance of getting Marks of Grace by going to the low end course and grinding round and round and round that all the time. We'd rather you went and trained on the thing that's more appropriate for your level, and we'll try and give you Marks of Grace more effectively from there.
Come on, we're going to get one. We're going to get one.
I'll have it eventually.
Yeah.
Although knowing our luck, we could be here forever and it won't happen at all. Which I think is going to be what's going to happen.
Yes.
We've got somebody, who is it? Rocks1 asks for the Adventurer's log. I'd love to do the Adventurer's log. Unfortunately, that needs a lot of a new web page and all system to kick out the information from the game to the web page to make all that happen. So it would be a wonderful thing to do, but it's not an easy thing. So that's going to be a while before that is likely to happen.
I think that's also something
I'm
that
afraid.
we don't deal with. I believe that would be the web team that
Yes,
deals with that.
exactly.
Yeah, we can't allocate their time.
Yeah. They would have to work across about 5 million different teams to make that happen.
Yeah, that was quite a big job.
Yeah.
In fact, it was relatively small from the content team's point of view when we first did them in the other RuneScape. Oh, I see Own Legend has a request for recolouring the whip for Barbie Assault. Sorry, Barbarian Assault, not Barbie Assault. That'd be a very strange minigame indeed. We certainly... Well, we certainly could recolour the whip as a minigame reward. I like that idea.
Yeah, we're quite unlucky here. Lap number 5 is still nothing.
Okay, maybe we'll try different.
Well, bear in mind you've only actually done one or so complete laps since you were at the appropriate level to have a good chance. But perhaps if we keep going round for it, they might just get bored.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, I know I will. Should we adjourn to Canifis?
We can do.
Niall 1991 keeps asking whether we could have the health train run on left of minimap. I don't know about left of minimap, but we could have them somewhere around there, or on some other part of the screen. One player had a nice idea for making them appear built into the stone columns around the side of your inventory, and sent us graphics of how they thought it could be implemented. We've got it on the list of things to poll in future. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Quite often there'll be a nice idea which just doesn't make the next poll, but it's not because we've forgotten about it or didn't like it. It'll hopefully one day get a chance to come to the top.
This pole vault needs working on as well. This was my next task.
Oh yes.
Pole vault rocks. Some magical teleporting pole vault.
I was suggesting that we couldn't really think of anything, so we just put a portal up there and just walk through that instead.
Julius 321 wants to know if you can stack fire capes now in 07. The answer is yes, you can get multiple fire capes, so you've got one to save your bank slot. You can have as many as you like if you keep going and earning them by killing Jad. If you get a fire cape and you don't want it, because you've already got enough of them, then you can sell it to the dude outside the fight cave to get some more tockle instead if you like. Galactica 98 wants to know if we're going to do Dragon Claws. The answer is no, we're not.
Yeah, answer that one.
Are Christmas crackers going to be ready for Christmas? Yes, they are.
Over Christmas, you're going to get 2 of every tradable item for completing the Christmas event, as well as unlocking all the untradeable items, and also an untradeable rainbow hat, rainbow party hat, and untradeable black party hat. So, all quite cool.
We're being quite unlucky here again.
We are indeed.
My 45 agility for this 40 agility course.
So J400F wants to know about a server list ping display. At the moment, the server list that's built into the client is entirely built into the game engine. Any change that's made to that is something we have to get made by them, and their time has been really very limited as far as how much they can offer us. We are really being promised that in the future that will change. It just hasn't yet, so we're going to have to keep being patient for a while, I'm afraid. Ramoki wants to know if you can fail the rooftop agility courses. Yes, you can, although we've tried not to make it happen all the time because you might find it a little frustrating.
Yes, and with the agility levels we've had set for the past 2 courses, we should have probably failed, but we've been lucky enough not to fail, but unlucky enough not to get any marks of grace. Damn. Should we jump to the next course?
Yeah,
or
next course, yeah.
I don't actually know the coordinate for the next course.
Falador, 47, 52, 30, 15-ish.
Something went wrong there. 47, 52, 30.
15-ish, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. We're on the wrong side of the building.
So let's jump up here.
Jeremy4444 is asking again what items these are. You're seeing the current draft of the Graceful outfit. It might change before launch. We've got a few people posting suggestions in the in today's update thread. But for the moment, that's what's the kind of thing you'll be able to unlock by collecting marks of grace as you go around these courses. AFK Gaming TV wants to know about degradable PvP gear, such as Sylvester's longsword, and has asked it multiple times in one post in the hopes it will help us read it. You know, it actually doesn't, but what the heck. The answer is, when we were planning PvP worlds, we did offer in the first place to have those items. However, there was such a negative response to the blog that we took them off the poll altogether because they seemed likely to make PvP Worlds fail as poll. So, yeah, we could offer them in future.
Cool.
I actually lost where I need to jump now. Oh, there it is.
Somewhere in there. Jebrim asked if we can display the amount of time he's played in game somewhere.
The I believe the back end's tracking it,
Yeah,
but
we
it's not
track
up.
it.
Since the web systems and engine are not passing that information between each other, we would have to get them updated to get the information available to us.
Yeah. So I mean, we track the information ourselves, so we can see it, but we need to make sure it can be put out publicly. So that would be work for other teams.
Aussie Wombat was asking whether we could. Oh, I think I see something on the mini map. Unless you've dropped.
Oh, right. No, there is something over there. It's
Have you dropped something?
No, it's red, so I've obviously missed it.
A 6.
Oh, there it is. There
Hey,
you
Mark
go.
of Grace.
No, I missed it because it's obviously a red roof. There we go, Mark of Grace. We pick it up. 1.
Yeah, get another 500 and something of those, and you can have the full set.
Yeah.
Of course, what we've been doing isn't the most efficient way of getting them. Hopping from course to course is not going to be the best way to get them. If, on the other hand, you're training agility when you go around the same course over and over again, that's the activity that makes you more likely to find one. Own Legend wants to know if you can recharge a crystal bow or shield before it gets destroyed. That's not a bad idea. We could maybe factor the cost down or something. I like that. Thanks.
Recharge a bow or shield.
Why you no jump ledge? There you go.
So we've had Matt going around these courses earlier today, looking for places where he gets stuck, places where for us the click zone was an intuitive place, but it's not for anyone else. Since I wrote half the courses and Dan mapped the other half of the courses, you get a lot of things that are a little idiosyncratic to us, and Matt's hopefully got us a list of the worst offenders so that we can launch a decent, polished piece of content for you.
That's not what I wanted at all.
Which of course, had this QA person been employed by now, they've been doing that.
They would indeed.
So yeah,
I'm
could have
seeing
been-
a lot of
your
people.
job.
A lot of people talk about that QA job actually.
Yes,
Sure.
well, we've got half an hour of stream left, so we can totally get onto that
Yes.
topic.
I will sure do this course very quickly, if I can spell correctly.
It's the Monster Mash.
I like that. Well, at least I do now. Aussie Wombat wants to know about having the Dark Mage on the Contact NPC spell. Yes, it's on the list of things to offer in future. It's not a small job because to edit that interface we first have to convert it to a format that we can edit. We kind of already had 2 projects like that this week. The stats interface to get the commas into the tooltips and the fairy ring interface for so many reasons. So taking on another of them at the same time would have turned it into quite a lot of work, and we'd end up with a huge backlog, which we prefer not to do just now.
Let's go around
But
one
yes, it can be polled in future.
Oh,
Actually.
somebody was asking a question for you, Dan, which I know you're passionate about.
Okay.
Getting rid of random events.
Oh, damn it! I would love to. I think when we relaunched Old School, everyone was glad to see them back. We really loved seeing the old Molly Random and the evil chicken because obviously it was removed, and the zombie because he gave dragon bones. It was really nice to see them and everything. Now I hate them. Now I hate every one of them, and I especially hate that damn maze and that damn gravedigger. I know somebody said they hadn't seen a gravedigger for a long time. I saw one the other day, and I really wish I hadn't. I would love to see randoms go away. I don't believe they help against the fight against bots. They more hinder legitimate players. So I would love to see them gone, but unfortunately that's something that we'd have to poll. And if people like them too much and we can't get rid of them, then they're not going anywhere. But I'm all for the death, removal, and destruction of every random event there is.
I see we've skipped from Sears to Arduin.
Yeah, we already ran the Sears course, so actually no, Sears, there is no. There's obviously things between there, isn't there? There's Relicta.
There's Paul Nivnich.
There's Paul Nivnich,
level
actually.
70.
Best one ever.
52.46. Yeah, you'll find your way. Around the back of the camel seller shop. You climb on his basket.
I should probably just set my agility up so I don't have to keep doing this. Now that we've got a mark of grace at least. Jump
I
across.
might have been slightly thinking Prince of Persia here with jumping from rooftop to rooftop, bouncing on market stalls, swinging on flags and banners. And then there's this thing with the tree. I moved the tree a few tiles to one side to make that line up a little better. I don't think anyone's going to mind.
I can't click today.
You just did.
I had this problem all day.
OMG Razor is asking if we can put in a clan cup arena that we had for the clan cup.
Aim for the tree.
Which was something we'd have to poll if we were to put it in permanently, and if we were to put it in permanently we would probably want it a bit better. It was very difficult to invite 100 people by right-clicking on them, and I think if we were to do it, it needs polling first, and it needs to be a bit better than it currently was.
To be honest, I'd just as soon wait for Clan Wars and make it one of the available arenas for that. Or maybe make a symmetrical version of it so that you can, so that it's fair on each team.
RSN Aero, I did see your tweet earlier today actually, and I did mean to go ahead and try and do it, but I forgot. I will try and do that. I haven't recoloured that shield yet, but I imagine it would look pretty awesome with its blue and white. So I should try and get and do that when I get 5 minutes.
Ironically, now he's a content developer and is therefore trained to do that kind of thing. He hasn't got the spare time for doing it so much anymore.
Yeah. Are you putting a resizable option for resizable? No. That would be almost impossible for the two of us. So
for a start, it's a rather large game engine job. There were 4 engine developers working on that for several weeks back in 08 when we did it before.
What was the coordinates for Relica? Your pre?
41, 57, 0, 30.
Damn, that's close. There you go.
Thank you.
We leap this gap. Run down to the best tightrope I think that's been mapped so far.
Well, thank you.
Because there is nothing wrong with that one.
Yeah, that might actually be the best tightrope I've done.
Arguably next to this one.
Well, they used the same graphic once I worked out that trick. And the roofs were just the right height to support that kind of thing.
Arguably next to this one as well.
So, David Saw's asking about BH Worlds, Bounty Hunter Worlds. I think that's something Dan can talk quite nicely about.
Yes, Bounty Hunter, everybody loves Bounty Hunter. I talk about this every week on every stream because everybody keeps asking me about it as well.
And it's still cool.
Bounty Hunter I love everything about that previous system. It was very well balanced, very well designed, and it catered for every class of PKer really, so nobody was left in the dark, nobody was left fighting people that were far stronger than they were, or piling on players much weaker than they were. Mod Ollie and I are actually working, or actually Mod Oliver, because it says Mod Ollie's RS3, Mod Oliver and I are working on an existing system to bring a new game. Is called Wolf, W.O.L.F. This is something that we're going to pitch to you much later on when we thought more in depth about how we want to do it. But it's basically a system of PvP whilst Bounty Hunter and another very popular game mode taken from another game, which we're going to edit ever so slightly to work for RuneScape. But this system would basically be Bounty Hunter across the entire game. So we would take an entire world, we'd remove all the ops on trees so you couldn't accidentally click a tree, we'd remove every NPC, would have the entire world as a slaughter world, with hotspots which engages people in hotspot areas where you can double your loot, as it were. This would be a mini-game with no impact on the main game, so obviously when I say double loot, you wouldn't kill somebody for a Fury, for example, and get 2 Furies. It would be minigame specific, but there is more to come on this. It's still in a rough draft format at the moment, and I have done some minor work on it in-game, but there's nothing really to see and me to show off right now. But Bounty Hunter we're very, very big on, so definitely keep an eye on anything we're doing, anything we're saying either on Twitter or the forums about this, but we're very big on Bounty Hunter. And now we shall finally go to the correct course.
I see Breaking Bryce would really, really like to buy some uncut sapphires. Good luck with that. Unfortunately, we're on a test stream, so we can't help you ourselves.
I can...
Question there about whether the Rainbow Party Hat can be constructed after the Christmas event. You don't actually construct the Rainbow Party Hat anymore. We pitched that at first, but it wasn't a very popular idea, so we thought what we'd just do is make the hat and give it to you at the end of the event as a reward. And at the end of the event, you've got it. And if you lose it, you can get another one from Diango, but you don't create them by cutting up your existing party hats. We decided to drop that idea for now.
Are we going to tackle merchant bots? Yes, we tackle all sorts of bots all the time. I'll have a chat with the bot people and see if they can turn their attention to them. But we have a constant stream of people tackling all the different sorts of bots that we have, so we will be on them.
And thankfully and finally, I have removed the stray man from the top of this roof.
Can't miss him.
He's gone.
Could we put another one in?
We could do. Took him down because he had no purpose or reason to be there. But that was the Arduino course, which is the highest agility course available. And everything before that was every course running up to, obviously, the max level available.
So, who wants to see the rainbow party hat?
We will actually have to boot another world for that.
Will we?
Yeah. We'll come back to this very, very quickly while I go and do that, because
Hey.
this could take not quite a while.
That's
But
cool. While Dan's trying to find a rainbow party hat hidden somewhere or other, shall we talk about the QA job?
Please.
That's been going quite nicely. For those who didn't see, or those who didn't know, Dan's content developer used to be QA, which means we need a QA person to do QA. Therefore, we put out a job 2 days ago now.
Yep.
I think it's 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, asking for you guys to apply to become a QA tester and work with us three. We've had huge response. We've had almost 200 people have applied for the job in the last 2 days, which is pretty scary. It's been really good, or busy, but a good couple of days. We've looked through all of your applications. So if you've applied, one of us three have personally read it, and it's been great to see how many sort of talented people we've got out there. Unfortunately, with 200 people applying for one job, we've got to disappoint 199 people, which seems a bit unfair. I mean, if we had 20 jobs, it would be much better, but we don't. We only have the one. We're going to close the applications tomorrow morning, so if you haven't applied, please do apply tonight, and so we can have a look through it. It's been fantastic. We've had some really good applications, a huge amount of talented people out there. And
there's a lot of people I'd love to work with.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And should we have more QA testers in the future, then we will have a lot more people to choose from, which is fantastic. But I got an email from the HR team that seemed quite scared that suddenly we'd spammed their inbox with all these applications for a QA person. But
I actually saw a lot of people on the forum saying, what is it we really need for applying for this position? And I think it's very important to stress that whilst a lot of people probably won't have the relevant QA or testing experience background, and they wouldn't have done it anywhere before, and this probably would have been their very first job, that isn't so important to us. What's more important to us is you love RuneScape and you play RuneScape. I can teach someone the basics of QA and the intimate details of breaking games in QA in a week or two, but I can't teach 10 years worth of RuneScape content. That's just not something that's feasible for us. You already have that you have the largest portion of the skills needed just by playing RuneScape alone. So we did primarily focus our attention on people who played obviously RuneScape, because we obviously get a lot of applications from people who just want a QA job, and if they don't play RuneScape and don't play Old School, they're not going to be beneficial to our team, and that will be beneficial to you as the community. So having the experience in RuneScape is definitely the primary focus, really, for this position. And the QA part, obviously, I can deal with afterwards, and Ash can help out as well, because Ash is, as well as me, Ash was in QA a long time ago, and Ash is obviously our current developer, so he's seen all the issues that go through in the game. I've obviously dealt with every issue that's come up recently, and obviously with Old School, so I can give you that knowledge, and Ash can give you the knowledge, or anybody who's a successful applicant, that knowledge as part of the team. But definitely the game knowledge is the most important thing that anybody applying can have. Your relevant education and background is important, but it's not the biggest thing we focus on. It's the dedication to the game and the knowledge that you can bring to us as well.
When we've been going through all the CVs, one of the things that the first thing I look for is whether they play Old School or not. If they don't play Old School, then it's straight onto the no part, because that's just no use to us. Somebody was asking, I forgot your name, I'm sorry, whether you have to be in the UK to apply. You don't have to be in the UK to apply. Anybody can apply. What we have to deal with is we have to deal with the employment law in this country, which limits where we can take people from. I don't know all the details about that, but we do have to abide by the laws of this country, of course.
Yes.
So if you're in America, chances are we probably wouldn't be able to get a work visa for you, so probably isn't going to happen if you're from America. But still do apply, because we love reading them, nothing else, and it's great to see how many people are out there.
It really is very nice to see all those CVs of people saying how much they love Old School RuneScape. It really is.
It's been wonderful, and I think should we be looking for more people in the future, we'll do exactly the same thing again, and have another 200 applicants to upset the HR team.
If anything all else, we could just try and organise a big party.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we ought to do it in America. We'll go on holiday. Over
Yeah, we should go to
Christmas.
America.
Yeah, somewhere in the south where it's nice and warm. Anyway, yeah, okay. But we've got a rainbow party.
We do have a rainbow party actually.
Yeah, let's go and look at rainbow
let's go have a
party.
look at this very, very quickly. So this is the rainbow party, as I said, on page 15, 13, whatever it was of the...
He hates numbers.
Yeah, can't do it numbers. 13 of some thread on the Old School forum. You'd probably tell them the exact thread again. Was it the discussion
It's the
blog thread?
Fairy Ring update
That's
thread
the
from
one.
today's update.
There's actually a picture of it, but here we go. Here's the party hat itself in all its glory, in every colour, sitting on top of my test account's head. So this is the rainbow party hat. This will be being given away free with the Christmas event. That along with a black party hat, which I shall just get myself now. At all.
Yeah.
Along with a black party hat as well. That's it basically. It looks an awful lot better than what you thought it would. I wasn't sure what I was expecting. This wasn't it, and I'm glad I saw this instead of what I probably was expecting. So.
Many rumour says that he looks like, look at the black Santa hat.
Oh yeah, these are just things I was messing around with. Obviously, we did pitch an idea initially of a black Santa hat, and I made it to see what it would look like. And
I like it.
we weren't entirely sure if we wanted a white one with black trim or black one with white trim. So I just made these. This is my test stream. This is just a stream where I just hack things together and mess around with. But and 2 standard party hats, which you're not really interested in, because some of you probably already got these anyway, because we basically threw them into the game when we first launched them. But
if you haven't got them, you will do in a few weeks.
yes, this is true.
We could stand to make the rainbow party hat a bit brighter. It's a little bit, well, medieval at the moment.
Yes, that is very true, actually.
And also, I'd like to point out, there's actually an orange piece here. So that's orange party hat confirmed by Modash.
Well, there's
Easter
8
egg.
sides to a party hat, and 6 colours of party hat to kind of go on them. So inevitably, I just stretch an actual rainbow out around it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Someone's asking to see your body.
You mean
The dragon.
Are you talking about the dragon body?
That one, yes,
Yeah.
clearly.
that's I showed this up a long time ago. This is actually what spawned the white dragon idea. It's just dragon armor recoloured white. There's actually a full helm for it, but let's just go to this bank. There's Ash's attempt at making bank tabs up there, and this is just a test bank. There's actually a test Slayer helm here. I'll probably get this out so I show people, because obviously we're doing a Slayer update very soon. This isn't the Slayer helm, but Ash was working on a version of the Slayer helm just to see what it would look like if we cobbled all the pieces together from the existing Slayer helm. So
At the time, we didn't think we'd ever get hold of anyone who could use the tool to make a nice model for us. We're a bit more optimistic now.
there's a white dragon helm. Ignore the red bits, I'm aware of those, but before we had the tool, we were limited to just the you doing it in code, and there's only 7 recolor options, or 6 recolor options, and there's 7 colors on the dragon full helm, which means something had to be left out. So I chose the less obvious ones, and whilst they're very, very obvious, they're the least obvious ones, which are the horns. So that's that. Yay for party hats and black Santa hats.
Mm.
It does it very good with these trousers, which unfortunately not very many people will have, because getting trouble brewing game to start is almost impossible.
But that's good, because next couple of weeks we'll be doing the poll for mini games, and hopefully we'll have some solutions for Trouble Brewing. Make it a bit more exciting again.
It's funny that the problem there doesn't seem to be that people don't want the rewards that they get from it. They just want people to play with and can't get them.
Yes.
Just to confirm quickly, this is not the Slayer helm that is being launched. This is just simply a test Slayer helm that's being. I just saw some people saying that looks horrific, and
Well,
it is, to be
it
fair.
does. So I don't
This
know
is
what
what
the
happens
test
when I
does.
get bored one. Nothing very interesting.
Oh, okay.
This is what happens when I get bored one evening and decide to try digging up the model editor and see whether it actually works. And it works, but I'm not a modeler.
Yeah. So don't. This is not the Slayer helm we intend to give you. Although if all else fails, we might end up with such. But we do our best to make sure this isn't the one we actually give you, and we'll give you the closest model we can to the existing one as is possible.
Well, we wouldn't use that anyway. We try and build some kind of black mask into it as well.
Yeah, that's also true. It's missing the most vital component, really.
As long as it does the important things. I've never been too fussed about the pixels, but yeah, it would be nice to get something that looks like the real Slayer helm.
Yes. That's about it, actually. Actually, while we're in the stream, I remember there's actually an option down here. I might have removed it. Actually, no, it's still here. Oh yeah, I've got this. Somebody mentioned this a minute ago. I want to see if this is still here and working.
I think it was. You fixed it when we had those visitors coming around the office.
We did, yes.
Don't see no monster. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
There we go. There's the white dragon himself.
What the heck's with his combat level?
What? 2000?
Why is it purple?
Is it?
It looks purple to me.
Oh, I can tell you, it's definitely blue.
Okay.
It actually,
it's on the stream, I guess.
beats the living life out of you, really. Probably should get out of it before he does fry me. But that's the white dragon that I was working on. He's obviously not finished. In fact, actually, he's got the most basic of attacks, and I don't really like the fact that he's using KBD breath, but that's the easiest one I can plug into him for the time being.
I'm sure we'll find something for
Yes.
all the various spells.
Let's go back to face.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm still here.
So, said Lisk wants a rotten potato. Well, if you take a normal potato, then after a few weeks you'll have a rotten potato. What we've got is a test item which we call the rotten potato, which we use for just clicking on things to activate them. It's a handy testing device, and yeah, if you manage to steal it off us, you'll find it won't work for you.
Yes, and so the person watching who is responsible for such an event, I gave you a load of potatoes. Enjoy those instead.
Yeah.
Unvuwe, whatever his name was. I can't remember, I'm sorry. He was asking about will we ever shut RuneScape down. Now, one day, yes, but whether that's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you know, it's not going to last forever. The world will end eventually. As things stand, specifically with Old School, we are in a very strong position. We have hundreds of thousands of players, and we have a really solid player base that's bubbling along quite nicely. We're not losing players, we're maintaining what we've got, and we've seen growth recently as well. So Old School's in a fantastically good place right now, and there's no reason to think that's going to change anytime soon. And yeah, it's great. Here we go. Answer that one. Permadeath worlds. Permadeath worlds. I'd love to do a permadeath world, but
That's very similar to the bounty hunter idea we had.
Yeah.
Although the system of permadeath, which would completely annihilate your stats and items, wouldn't be as true as to the permadeath theme as possible. But it's very, very similar to the wolf bounty hunter system that Mod Oliver and I are working on. Used to be called Mod Ollie, then he left, then Mod Ollie joined, and then Oliver couldn't have Mod Ollie back because Mod Ollie is here now, so get confused between the both.
yeah. Right. People are asking us all sorts of different servers from around the world. So we've got Scandinavian, Dutch, Canadian's been asked for. I know we've been asked for Australian ones as well. The servers we have are what we have at the moment. I don't think there's any discussion at all going on about new servers and new plays. So I think it's been working quite nicely. And if there is a sudden demand in a country where we do need some quicker servers, then we'll probably look at it. But at the moment, there isn't really. But we monitor that carefully, and should we need to change it, we will, but not at the moment.
PowerCat has a question about whether we could, whether people could send in 3D models to the graphics team for us to use. The answer is that RuneScape doesn't use any standard kind of 3D model format. It uses something Andrew invented himself. Now, you might wonder why in the world did Andrew decide to invent his own 3D model format? The thing is, when he was writing the RuneScape engine back in 2003, 2004 for the RS2 launch, what he did was he needed to make it really, really efficient. So rather than doing the usual thing where you just make a model and have it rendered in the 3D world with depth sorting to see whether it's behind scenery or in front of scenery, he just made the game kind of assume what the answer would be. And he lets you build into the model all kinds of extra information about the render order of each polygon individually if you want to. And he has extra metadata in there for the animation labels to make it so that we can define one animation. It works on lots of models all the same, which is how HumanKit works. It means, unfortunately, we can't just take a model in, say, Maya or something like that and plug it in and expect the tools to read it, because RuneScape doesn't. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
No,
all right.
no,
I was
right.
just Taylor James's comment. Made me laugh. I'm sitting there thinking, to be fair, I have no idea what Ash is talking about.
It would explain a great many things, to be honest, during the day, such as jokes and other various things that Matt comes up with.
So, moving on.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What we got there?
Yes.
New shields. We haven't looked at any new shields recently, have we?
I would like some new shields.
Yeah, I would like some new shields.
A lot of people have referenced the Corporal Beast Spirit Shields. I would very much like to have the Corporal Beast back with them. Corporal Beast was my favourite boss, and it still is my favourite boss.
And a use for spears.
And a use for spears as well. I was a very big member of the very popular Sigil Hunter clan, which I guess doesn't exist anymore, so it's not advertising if I call it Sigil Seekers. So, no, Sigil Seekers back in the day was amazing, and I loved Corp for it. So, I would love to have Corp back, and I'd love to have new shields. We are lacking in shields, I guess. Dragonfire shield is probably the best one there is at the moment. Maybe then probably Book or something. I don't know. So I would love to have some new shields back, especially for in the same way that EOC has done the Spirit Shields, preferably, I guess. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying that, but shields for magic, shields for range, and various other things, unless you just want them back as they were originally, I guess. But I'd love new shields. New shields are definitely needed.
Cool. Well, I think, unless you guys see anything you desperately want to answer, we probably have to call it a day. It's 6 o'clock. And we'll have nothing left to answer next week if we keep going. So, with the particular you see, guys?
Just one from POL something something something. Wants to know if you could type in your bank pin rather than having to click on the screen. The reason the bank pin's on a clicky keypad thing rather than just being typed is that when Andrew and I designed it back in, 2005 or 6, we were trying to get around keyloggers that were listening for all your key presses. And having an interface you clicked on screen seemed like a good way of avoiding that. Could be that keyloggers have rather moved on from those days. Everything else that the internet has. I have to give it some thought. There are things I would like to do to the bank pin to let you enter your number a bit more quickly. At the moment, it feels really quite laggy when you click the buttons. I'll see what we can do at the same time as that. May or not be possible though.
Cool.
He hasn't asked the question. In fact, he's probably not actually here at the moment. But I know if he was here, he would ask this question. So I'm going to say it because I know he's going to watch the stream back. AMA on Reddit?
Oh yeah. Eventually, one day. One day.
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't seen him around, so
Yeah, he will turn up. Who's that? That's Cheesy D.
that's
isn't
cheesy,
it?
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, can't forget that. Cool. So we'll see you all next week. Thank you all for coming, and
Happy Thanksgiving for
yes,
those of you who are
happy
celebrating
Thanksgiving.
that.
Bye bye.